So welcome back, everyone. Again, let's maybe start our last session to kind of conclude this workshop, and I'm sharing with you like kind of some of the some of the nice pictures of our campus here in the University of Washington. Maybe kind of feeling like if we don't have this COVID situation, we should have invited all of you to come here and having this workshop here at the University of Washington. And I know Dr. Faisal he has done that for a couple of the last 2 years. He has invited many people from South Asia to come here and learn more about these models and data. So maybe next year, if we don't have this, the pandemic is over and we don't have this COVID situation, maybe we'll be lucky to come here and maybe see the beautiful campus here at the University of Washington. So I'll stop sharing these pictures, and this actually this ASCII Stadium, which is the football stadium here, and for those who like playing football or back home, I know. So let's stop sharing this, and then I will share with you first maybe the initiative that I'm talking about that I want to just give you an idea about it. So actually something called the HydroLingo. So yesterday you might be, some of you noticed that I asked you in the beginning of the session that if you have any question in I asked those people who can speak Arabic so I can understand them. If you have any question in Arabic, please go ahead and ask the question in Arabic and I will try to translate that. And I did this intentionally because I'm kind of supporting people to speak in their native language, because I feel this will be more easier for every one of us to understand, especially when we talk in terms of science and research, you know. So I don't want anyone to get a kind of offended or something when I said that yesterday. I just said that because I want to kind of like see if people will be using their own language or not. I mean, they will feel like comfortable when they use their native language or not. So I kind of started this initiative this summer. It's called HydroLingo. So the idea is to deliver our research in our native language, which will make, I believe this will make people getting more engaged in the water research. And I'll show you some examples here. Like this is actually, there's some papers. I mean, we are reading papers all the time, but even in this topic, there are some papers published talking about why we are only using English, you know, and that making only English as the only language, this is kind of making a barrier for understanding the research and the what's going on in terms of the new findings in the science and research. And I'll, for example, show you like from this paper, but different researchers what they are saying. One of them is saying that the language support and translation services should be included in grants. So if you are kind of applying for a grant to get a funding, you should do something in your research that you translate this into a different language, because he's saying also that English speakers have become the gatekeepers of science. So maybe like now, those only who are speaking English, they know like the details, you know, and the secrets of the science. I think by keeping those gates closed, we are missing out on a lot of perspectives and a lot of good research. And I believe that this is true. I know many people back home, I'll talk about myself at least, in Egypt, they are very good in doing research, and they are actually, I mean, they are smart people. But sometimes it's just the language barrier which stops many people to kind of having this innovation and creativity, you know. Another example is a professor in the University of Chicago, in Princeton University here in the US. He's saying that in the countries where English is not spoken, you shut out everyone but the well-educated. Only people who are well-educated and they are receiving their education with knowing, I mean, they are kind of educating with English from maybe the school. These people are only who are receiving this kind of they know English and they can speak English, and they are well educated, and they will maybe get more involved in research. But those, we are losing a lot of people who are smart. And he's saying also maybe in the future maybe in 1 century or something, the science will be split into different languages more available, like English, Chinese, maybe another language, like he's saying maybe Spanish or Portuguese or Arabic. And maybe other languages, not only this, but he's saying this maybe more dominant languages. So what I want to do is doing this initiative, which is called HydroLingo. And HydroLingo, it's like hydro just stands for water, and lingo stands for language. And I want to make our research, not everything, you know, like if we have a paper, maybe it's abstract. What is the key points from this paper? Just translate it into Arabic, you know, so people can get a kind of idea about what this paper is translating, or what are the findings from this paper. So we are now kind of in this project having like a member is called HydroLingo ambassador. So the ambassador will be someone who knows a language other than English. So he knows English, plus he knows his native language. So he can kind of translate some of the research in English and put it in his own native language. So he'll be probably a researcher in water resource, because we are only hydro, so we want to focus in water resource, maybe affiliated with the university or research, be a native speaker for maybe like Arabic speaker, maybe in Ethiopia, like they can also translate some of this in the Ethiopian language. So I'd be able to translate and interpret. So he understands the science because he has a background of water resources, but he also speaks. So I think it's a tool that we should use it in our research. We can understand English. You don't have to speak English well, but if you can understand English, then you can translate it into your native language. So I have actually a kind of a Google form. If anyone likes this project and you want to be a part of it, like an ambassador, like here in the US, I got, for example, a friend. He's from Honduras and he's speaking Spanish, and he said he's very happy to be involved in this as an ambassador. So he'll be the ambassador of the Spanish people. So for example, if we have any research in English, we'll try to translate it into Spanish. So people in these Spanish-speaking countries, you can get access to this research. And here is an example. This is from Google Earth Engine. You know, Google Earth Engine, if you go on the website, some tutorials are available in different language. And I was surprised. I mean, I was after having this idea, I was checking Google Earth Engine and found like some tutorials is available in Spanish, some is available in Vietnamese as well. I hope in the future maybe we can find in Arabic as well. So and Google Earth Engine, they are happy to all the time to kind of uploading as much tutorials as they can. So this is an example which I hope we can have something like this in the future through the HydroLingo project. So moving forward, as I said, there is this Google form. I will send the link maybe in email or something, but we are trying now to form a leadership team, HydroLingo community, having a support team, ambassadors, building a platform. I will probably soon we'll have a website for that. So the idea for the website, if you maybe having the website based on different topics of water resources, maybe someone is interested in remote sensing, can go there, check the paper, and then maybe ask one of the ambassadors, can you please translate to me the abstract? I'm interested to read on that. Maybe in the future, it can also be a kind of the other way. Some of research or some of the documents which is in Arabic, we can translate it into English or other languages, because I know in Egypt, for example, we have many documents about the water research, which it was in Arabic, and it might be very helpful for us to do research if we want to do it in English. So maybe having some samples for translating research. A podcast, it's just like kind of like a radio or something, having a very small maybe channel or something, and maybe kind of podcast. So we can have something like this in different languages as well. So we can maybe, if anyone is interested and he signed up, we can kind of having a meeting probably every month, maybe once, and then we can brainstorming more and more idea if you're interested to get involved. I'll give you, this is very funny, and you will see now the importance, because some people might say, I will just go in the Google Translate, using Google Translate to translate whatever I want. I mean, why do we have to care about HydroLingo, or we have to care about people to translate the research? So I give an example. This is actually it's very funny. It's from I just translated one sentence I have in my research about the Hayaswan Dam and the GERD. So I'm saying here in English. So the first, what I just pasted in the Google Translate. I said the 7-year flooding by Ethiopia is minimally disruptive to operations of Hayaswan Dam, and recovery is fast. I mean, if you're not speaking Arabic, no worries. I mean, you can just skip this. But if you know if you are speaking Arabic, it will be very interesting if you can read this. But anyway, let's assume that someone will take this Arabic sentence and put it again in the Google Translate. If you see now the translation back from the Arabic to the English, you will see that actually the meaning is reversed. So instead, I mean, what I want to say in my sentence is that the 7 year of filling the dam will have a less impact on Hai Aswan Dam. But then when we translate it back, I'm sorry for that. When we translate it back, it's saying that Ethiopia had been disrupted. Ethiopia itself has been disrupted for 7 years. And this disrupts the Hai Aswan Dam, and it also disrupts the Hai Aswan Dam. So it's saying that there is bad impacts in Ethiopia and on Hai Aswan Dam. So it's giving a very long, it's like a kind of the wrong meaning of the sentence if we try to translate it back. And even the Arabic is wrong, you know, it's saying, I mean, whoever wants to read it in Arabic, but the Arabic even is wrong. So we should not rely on this kind of Google Translate. And there is some articles in BBC talking about using Google Translate and how it's actually kind of like it's not reliable, and sometimes to translate everything in Google Translate, especially if it's a long sentence or something. So take care of that, and I think that's make the point for the HydroLingo. So I'll end this HydroLingo here by this quote by Nelson Mandela. Proud people in Africa, as you know, Nelson Mandela in South Africa. And he said that if you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. But if you talk to him in his own language or his native language, that goes to his heart. So this idea of the HydroLingo, I think the idea is that we want to the research to kind of like going to your heart, so you probably understand it more, and you will be more innovative and creative. But if you just talk in a language like we were talking English, which is okay, I'm not saying it's bad, and it's because it's a kind of like the most of the people are can understand it, but it's still, there is a language barrier, and that's what I feel. I think from my experience that still the English only makes the research, makes the language as a barrier in terms of research. I'll stop here. If you have any feedback in terms of the HydroLingo, but I will share with you the link as well. If you want to participate in this initiative, I'll be actually very happy, and we can actually brainstorming more ideas and getting you involved in this initiative. So I think I will kind of giving you some details that I mentioned and information which is important, but I can actually, if you want to give any input about this in the chat box, or if you want to unmute yourself, I would be happy to listen to you as well, because probably something like this we need to listen to people better than just throwing the ideas out and no one without getting feedback. So I can maybe wait for a couple of minutes. It's 11:08, so you can 2 minutes if you have any feedback, or if you like the idea, you can maybe say yes or no down here in the using this Zoom. Maybe if anyone likes the idea, or maybe someone can say no, this is not applicable, it doesn't make any sense. You can say no. I mean, it's not bad. We need to learn, So you have this yes and no down in the Zoom. If you open the participants, or I think so, I'm not sure. I see in my computer, I see this in the participants. So if you agree with that actually the language is a barrier, you can say yes. If no, say no. So that might be good. So to know like that people, that makes sense or not. And again, please forgive me if yesterday I was asking people to say the question in Arabic. I didn't mean anything. I just want people to kind of get involved. Don't make the language as a barrier. I mean, it's the same case for me. And one good thing about this workshop, that all of the participants and the guests for this workshop, none of them are actually native English speaker. All of us as speakers, all the participants, all the guests, none of us actually, English is our native language. So that's a good thing. I mean, and that we are, the English is a common between all of us. That's good. But again, I mean, it might be maybe helpful if we have the workshop in different languages as well, and making it easy for people to get engaged and learn more about that. So that's good. We are getting some people, they like it. Maybe other people, they kind of like not sure if they like it or not, or maybe they don't like it. So, but anyway, I will send you the form if you are interested to get involved in this. I'll be very happy.